yogis, welcome back to school. It is your first day and you guys are the lucky ones. You got to stay home today. So I'm Mrs. Fuste. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that are returning, you got your wish. This year is going to look a lot different than last, right? So we did talk last year a little bit about how we would be able to change things up, and that is what's happening. So this year, this semester is going to look a lot different, especially these first 2 weeks. So for those of you that are remote learners now, you get that privilege of just kind of watching the video today, doing the exercise I'm going to have you do a little bit later. Next week, when you come to school, we will meet at the Red Room. If we need to, we'll be inside the Red Room, but hopefully we can just meet outside of those doors. I will keep you posted on that. So Tuesday is our first day in school, so we'll have to kind of see how things operate once we get everybody kind of in and out. You will not need to check in with me on the days that you are a remote learner, if I did not say that yet. So you're just going to do the video and the homework associated with it. And by homework, I mean this whole thing today should take you 10-15 minutes total after you watch this video. Okay, real quick, your props. So I did send a list last week telling you what you would need. I'm not a jerk. You need these props to keep you safe. I know it's kind of an inconvenience, but you can get stuff relatively cheaply. I know I included a website that you could get everything from, but upon further investigation, I did notice shipping was a little pricey, so Amazon might be a better option. You could also check TJ Maxx, Marshalls. They tend to have these items pretty cheap there, but you are always taking a chance whether they have them or not. So, you can look there, but Amazon might be the best bet, so especially if you've got a Prime account. So the 3 things you need besides a yoga mat is 2 blocks, 1 yoga strap or belt, and 1 of these fancy schmancy yoga blankets. So the blocks, I recommend 4 inches, okay? But whatever you get, I don't care what size you get, I just want them to both match. So if you get 3 inches, then the other one needs to be a 3-inch block, and vice versa for like a 4 or 4.5. So you just need to make sure that they are the same size. That's going to be vital information a little bit later once we start using the props. Second thing you need is a strap. Your strap should be a minimum of 6 feet long. Any shorter than that, and it's not going to really hold you in place for certain things. So make sure it's at least 6 feet. This one, I think, for me is 10 feet. It just doesn't matter as long as it's at least 6 feet. And metal rings, okay? So you have a plastic version, not safe, not recommended. So I'm requiring you guys to have these metal rings. This sucker here, $5, $6, $7, okay? So this one was $7 on Amazon. These blocks I think I got from Marshalls, $10. And then these blankets I picked up actually a couple this summer when I was in Ocean City, and just kind of depended. I did find a few on Amazon for about $13, $14, and then I saw them as much as $20. So, you gotta kind of look around for the deals, but the thing I like about these and why we use them in yoga is, one, they're pretty big, and that's gonna be important when we come to our restorative yoga poses a little bit later in the semester. Those of you returning probably remember that that's probably your favorite part. So these props, these blankets, they're gonna work for you in a really nice way. So for now though, if you have something, maybe a little bit of a thicker blanket that your mom might have on her couch, something like that. If it's a square shape, this is a rectangle shape, so things will fold a little bit differently for a rectangular size blanket. A square blanket will be a little bit different, but both will work, okay? So just something that's got a little bit of firmness to it, that's not gonna like totally flatten when you lay on top of it, because that's what you're using it for. I want to show you a trick. So unfortunately, we do not have a place at the moment for you to store your things. We are working on it, looking at some options, but for right now, when you bring your props to school, you're gonna have to carry them with you. And I know, that stinks, but it is what it is for now, and we'll just do the best that we can with what we've got. So what I'm gonna recommend to you is to use your straps to wrap around your blocks. So you'll take your 2, let me show you how to do this first, okay? So if you've never used one of these before, you've got the tail, the end, you've got your metal rings, okay? They are in the shape of a D. So what you'll do is you'll take the tail of your strap, it will go in between your metal rings. You're gonna come through both of those metal rings. So you've gone through both, then you're gonna split them. It will go over ring number 1 and under ring number 2, Okay, you might have to do that a couple of times. I know it seems super simple, but a lot of people really struggle the first few times they're doing it. To tighten it, you just hold the tail and then draw those rings down, okay? So this is a 10-foot strap here, so it's a ginormous loop-de-loop. But you want something that's gonna be able to fit your 2 blocks inside of it, and then you just simply take the strap around both those blocks, tighten it up, and then what you've got here is like a handy-dandy little backpack, okay? And if you get a cheap like mat strap, like you can buy those for like $2 or something at Five Below, you can just put that around your yoga mat, strap that on your back, shove this on your back. I mean, that's gonna be a lot on your back, but after all this yoga, you're gonna be so strong, it won't matter anyway. But it'll be a little bit of an easier way for those of you that don't have a car that you can leave your stuff in or whatever, you know, you can just kind of carry it around. I'm sorry, I know it stinks, but eventually, not these first 2 weeks, but eventually you're gonna need these props. They are vital for teaching you proper form, safety, and alignment, okay? So that is why we require you to have them. We wanna make sure that you guys are learning how to do yoga the proper way. Okay, so meeting in the red room when we're in school. When the weather is nice, we are outside. So hopefully these first 2 weeks, we will all be outdoors together. On the first 2 weeks of school, and I will let you know when this changes, you do not need to check in with me remotely. You just need to do your homework, all right? Your homework for today, all right? So we are gonna talk a lot about mindfulness this week. So you've got 2 things that I'm gonna tell you. First and foremost, the word yoga. I like to usually start this year or the semester by asking everybody what their definition of yoga is or what they think yoga is, and ask them why they decided to take this class, because we all have really different reasons, right? I think a lot of people come to yoga thinking it's going to be relaxing, and while most of it can be, it can also be very, very invigorating and exercise. So you all are going to learn many different types of yoga. So there's not just one type of yoga, although the one we will focus on the most is going to be vinyasa. You don't need to know all of that right now. You just need to know what the word yoga actually means. So whatever you think it means, whatever you expected when you signed up for this class, if you haven't done it before, yoga itself, the definition means to unite or to yoke together. All right. So how I can explain that to you in like the real world is yolk means like an egg yolk. Inside the egg white, they're 2 separate things, but they are together. They've united as one. Also, if you've been somewhere like Williamsburg, maybe you've seen the 2 ox that are together and they have the wooden circles around their necks, but they're also joined together, so they have to work together to plow the fields. That is also called a yoke. So however you want to think about it in your mind, whatever makes more sense to you, just tuck that little nugget away. That's one definition, one question I expect you to answer. So yoga means yoke or unite. And just to kind of elaborate on that with the yoga that we're doing, we are yoking, uniting our breath, our minds, our movements, all together as one, okay? So we all know that yoga is a mind-body type of workout, or I don't want to call it a workout, but we know that it's a mind-body connection. This week we're going to talk a lot about mindfulness and what that actually means. So your first word in definition will be yoga. Yoke, unite. Okay, got that. The second word is namaste, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have heard that before. Do you know what namaste means? So what namaste means is that the divine light in me honors the divine light in you. So just to break that down into a way that you can sort of relate to it is that there is goodness in myself, and I see that there is goodness in you, and these 2 things want to acknowledge each other. So the goodness in me acknowledges that there's goodness in you. I want to honor that by being kind, right? And so that is how we always finish our class. You could use that, in a way to say thank you in a sense, but that is technically what it means, all right? So namaste, the light in me honors the light in you. That's it. Yoke, that's what yoga means. Your mindfulness exercise for today is going to be super simple, super basic. You're going to take off your socks, take off your shoes, and you're going to walk in your yard for 5 minutes. Walk in the grass, not the dirt, not the mud. Unless it rained last night at your house, I don't know. But you're going to walk around in the grass, and I want you to feel what that feels like under your feet. This is a grounding exercise. Mindful in the sense that I want you to really stay present. How does that grass feel? What's happening around you? What are you smelling? What are you seeing? If all that you can think about the whole time you're doing it is this is stupid and I don't want to step on a bumblebee, I want to know that too. So your homework for today You will walk around in the grass 5 minutes, no socks and shoes, and then you'll just give me 1 to 2 sentences about that experience. Don't overthink it or complicate it. It is super basic. I just want to know the basics, how that was. And then of course you're going to define those 2 words for me, okay? All right, so when you're all said and done, after watching this video, that should take you a solid maybe 10 minutes. That's not very much time out of your day. Now when I see you the next time, you will have a little bit more required of you, but still not much. We're going to just kind of take this week to get to know each other a little bit and just start moving the body in a different way that maybe you're used to. All right? Well, I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.